the question of how do we really start the person-centered, person-driven process, and what does it look like? As you and I know, I've done this for many, many years with many, many different individuals and families. Let me start by saying it can be a little kid, it can be a big kid. It can be a kid who doesn't use language like you and I do, to a person who's very articulate and does use language like you and I do. So there is not a minimum standard, minimum requirement, etc. The process is engaging the individual and his or her support as we navigate life. So if we are working with someone who may not communicate like you and I, do they use pictures? They don't even use pictures. That's okay. Are there people around them who know when they're smiling, when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're relaxed, when they're tense? Let's utilize that piece of information to define the person-driven process. And to me, I still use as a backbone making an action plan, or the MAPS mandala, which talks about what are your dreams? What are your nightmares? Who are you? What makes you tick? What do you need to sustain in life? And ultimately create a plan to reach the dream, minimize the nightmare, and have steps to achieve it. It is not good enough to come together and get excited around a person, for a person, and leave it at that. We have to have an action plan with steps and commitments from the individual and or his family and or his relatives and or his support team or hers. It's a process leading to looking at life different than an IQ score, a class placement, a disability. It's truly looking at who is the individual, what makes them tick, and how do we move to the next chapter.